good I can. Well, hi there. This is Commander Deep Fried Mal with this second edition of my videos, me talking over the top of them. Welcome if you've never been before, or if you have, great. Nice to see you back again. If there's anything you want me to try and do, please stick something in the comments for me. I'll attempt to. Two things I want to do today. Try and stop saying all the way through the videos. I watched mine back and thought, people are going to be counting this, aren't they? And secondly, I want to show you a little bit about mining. Now I'm back on my my carrier, the Explorer's Respite, as you can see, and I'm in my ASP at the moment, what I use for exploration. So what I do is go into carrier services, as we are, and you will see in my shipyard I have a few ships. I haven't got the capability of selling anything on here. I haven't put that on purely for exploration and bio, that kind of stuff. So go and manage your ships, and as you can see I've got a few on the carrier. My other ships, as you can see, are crossed out as it were, and they're a little way off, shall we say. It looks like, I think that one's in Colonia, but that one's well away. Oh no, it's Colonia Hub as well, that one, as it says in the top left there, Jones Hub back in the bubble. But these are the ones I've got with me. I've got a nice Corvette. I've got two Pythons, a Python and my Fer de Lance. My transporter, which I tend to use for mining, as well as my Explorer. The nice thing about these is, of course, you can name them whatever you want. It's great. That's what the paint job should look like, by the way. It doesn't at the moment with the amount of travelling I've done. So I'm gonna go into my transporter today. Use the ship. I'm not going to sell it. And of course, what I'm going to do is I'll just show you what I've got. Oh, there we go again. In my inventory. I'll try saying that. Teeth ain't working this morning. These are the ones that I tend to try and get at the moment and sell on the carrier. So I'm looking at platinum, water, tritium, low temperature diamonds, palladium and osmium. But what I've also been doing is getting stuff for building my own colony, even though I'm nowhere near that at the moment. They haven't opened it up to this area, so I can't. So I go between the two of getting some water and liquid oxygen and that kind of stuff. Originally I started purely getting tritium, because without tritium your carrier's not going anywhere. But I've also discovered that I started mining other little bits and pieces and selling them from the carrier, which is quite nice. So I go into my galaxy map. Now if I go to the local, there's a couple of things here that I tend to use. Now as you can see, this planet has rings around it. Now if I go in to the information, it also tells me, hopefully somewhere where I can remember where it is, which rings have got what on them. Yeah, and this one's, I was there in the first place, wasn't I? And it tells me it's an icy ring. Now they're the ones that I tend to use. If you find some rings around an icy planet and it's an icy ring, then that's where you're liable to find your tritium, your water and your liquid oxygen. But I'm not going to go for that one today. What I'm going to go for is a little bit further afield, and I'm going hunting for my palladium and that kind of stuff. So when I remember where it is, That's the booby. And again, I'm going to hopefully have a look at that. I'll show you where we are on that one. So there's me plotted. I'm just going to come into the map and I'll show you what I'm after. Now you can also see that it's got some asteroids here and they're metal rich. Now each ring on here, if I go into this one, you can also see the first ring type, the outer ring is rocky, but the inner ring is metallic, and that's what I'm going for today. They're the ones that I need. So I'm going to plot my route plotted, and I'm going to head out to those metallic rings. Now hopefully it's not going to be a long video today, because mining can be slightly boring, especially the way I do it. I do it the old-fashioned way, shall I say. I didn't bring anything with me to assist with mining when I started coming out with my carrier, as I didn't intend to do much. I only wanted to do a bit for the manoeuvring the carrier and nothing else. But I've recently obviously discovered that I can make a little bit of money, not a great deal. It really depends on how many people have discovered my carrier. There's a couple that come out occasionally. It's been stuck here for a little while. I have tried to advertise it on a couple of the platforms, but we'll see how it develops. You never know. But that's not the primary reason I'm here, to be honest. I'm not making money. For me, it's exploration and getting a bit of bio, so it pays for the upkeep of this carrier. So I'm going to jump to this system.
Speed restrictions have been lifted.
Thank you very much.
Signing off.
Again, if there is any suggestions that you want me to look at, please stick them in the comments, and I'll attempt to. I do not profess to be the best at everything. There's a lot more channels out there that you could watch, I'm sure, videos all over the place. But this is the way I do things. Hopefully I'm giving you some nice hints and tips of what to look for, because I found it quite difficult trying to find where I could get tritium from originally. I was looking in asteroid belts, and of course doing that is very limited. You get to an asteroid and you get maybe a ton of it if you're lucky. I've discovered that if you go to the rings around a planetoid, generally speaking, they're pristine, which means there's lots of them, lots of goodies there for you. So I decided, I found this one, and that's what I'm using to top up. I've been to a lot of the planets around this system, and I'm finding I have to now jump more than once to get anywhere that I haven't already discovered. So it's going to be a stage soon where I'm going to move the carrier and find somewhere else. But that in turn would also mean that those people that know where I am at the moment are going to lose it. So unless they have a look on some of the kind of apps that are about to say where I am, I don't think they're going to find me, but we'll see. I'm not too worried. So it's exploration and bio. I found, especially if you're on a planet that its first footfall, you do get a lot more credits for it. And as I say, most of the credits for me are literally just for upkeeping the carrier. As long as I've got me 14.5 mil in a week, I'm relatively happy. But I'm coming into this in a way that I come out on top of it, and on the the side that's facing the sun, so I'm not going into the dark side. I find it a bit easier. And the way I come in, you see that I come in on the top of it, and I find it easier to line up with the particular ring and manage to get in there and try and find stuff. As I say, I'm only going to mine a couple of things and then take it back to the carrier just to show you how I do it, because this can be really boring. It's a bind to for me, but as I say, it wasn't my primary reason for coming out here. So you can see the two rings there. The inner ring, the lighter one, is the one I'm heading for. The darker one is purely rocky, and I don't want the minerals or anything like that in there at the moment. I'm trying to get a little bit of money. I don't sell it for top price. I try and undercut everything else just to give people a chance. You know, if they want to make a bit more money by picking up from here and taking it into Colonia and selling it, then that's fine. I don't mind that. I've only recently discovered that you can actually transfer stuff to a carrier rather than having to sell it. So, you know, we're all learning. So I'm going for this lighter patch here. I don't think it really matters where you are, but I have found that if you come in to a pristine type, you can have osmium, for example. You can get up to kind of 50% in one chunk, which is really good going. I mean, other times it's 1 or 2%. It's not very good, but hopefully we'll come across an asteroid that's going to give me plentiful of stuff for you to see. Slowing down as I come in. Don't want to make too much of a damage, so I'll slow down to the minimum I can before. And as you can see, loads. Now, as again, power limit exceeded, so I've already got that set up to say which units are not used when I've got my mining stuff out. And I'm going to head for this one just to see initially what I'm doing. I'll slow down when I get nearer the time. Open the cargo scoop in a minute. That will slow us down. But at the moment, trying to get close. That's my maximum speed, 128. It's a big old beast, this one, but it can hold quite a lot. Not that I've ever got that far, not here anyway. I did some transportation when I was in the bubble, and it's great for that. But I've also noticed that if I wanted to colonise, I really need to increase the capacity, so I might have to buy another ship to do that with. We will see once the devs allow colonisation out this area. I've no idea when that's going to be, but I wouldn't mind doing that. That's all part and parcel. Now, as you can see on the sonar or the radar at the bottom, I'm getting within range. And let's see what this one holds for us. So I'll target, and I'm not interested in any of those two. So off to the next one. And I've discovered that the darker the asteroid, the nearer it is to you. I can get slightly confused sometimes, and it ends up further away, but we'll have a look. I'll keep going. And what I try and do is, as you can see in the scope kind of next to the planet, down the bottom there, I'm pointing, it gives you an indication of pointing towards the planet. So I'll always try and head that way. There's a bit of gold there. I know I've got the gold, but I'm not worried about that. So I always try and head in that general direction, so I know I'm not going back to the same asteroid as I've previously done. Just something I do, so I'm always heading in towards the planet. Now, as you can see, there's an asteroid there that's below me, so I'm going to have a look at that one. It's a small one. Now, I've discovered, well, normally the small ones tend to be better to hit. Not always. I've discovered that there's some big ones that have produced some really good stuff, but the smaller ones, there you go, and that's 23%. That's reasonable. I've discovered that it's actually manoeuvring around the small ones is easier. Now, as you can see, I'm trying to keep that slightly below centre, as I've discovered that if it's even just slightly above centre, it will bounce. It's saying resources unallocated. Now that's because I've got one that I'm not collecting, which in this case is gallite. So I'm just going to get rid of that. Just dump it. So I'm after palladium, tritium, and platinum at the moment. They're the ones I'm going for. No, not tritium here, sorry, that's osmium. So I'm going to see if I can get at least a ton, just to show you how it goes. No, there you go, that's a nice one, 42%. They're the kind of asteroids that you want. And whilst I'm here, I'm going to get a couple of those just to top up because it's so easy at 42%. I have had slightly higher, but generally speaking, if you got around 32 there, you have around the 40 or 30%, it's good to go. I will only contemplate anything less than 10% if I'm very nearly topped up. So I'm going to the next one. Let's have a look what we've got here. Ah, there you go, osmium. Osmium seems to be a good seller. I don't know why, but I'll go for that. 26% is okay. It'll probably be a case of the next one won't be quite as much. And then the last one before the asteroid is completely empty is probably a good one as well. I've also found. But here, there you go, slightly S23, that's okay. I get 1 ton of osmium, and then I head back to the carrier just to show you how I do that as well. But osmium, as I say, seems to be a really good seller. So I think somebody in Colonia wants it. I don't follow the news or the trends or whatever, so I'm out doing my own thing, and it can be lonely, I suppose, but I enjoy doing that. Oh, there you go, osmium refined. So I'm going to leave it there, come up, close all my hatches, etc. And I'm going to plot my route back. As I say, it's only going to be a quick vid, this one, so let's go straight to the carrier, shall we? Plot to there. And see where we've got to go. So the little white mark is behind me, so I've got to come up and around, being careful not to bump into anything along the way. Doesn't do the ship any good if you do that. So boost out of here. Try and get out of the mast lock before we can actually go to jump and get back to my carrier. Again, I'll show you how I can transfer it. It took me a little while to discover how to transfer it. I always thought you had to sell stuff to the carrier. You can set it to quite a low price if you sell it yourself, selling it to the carrier, and then set it again for selling to everybody else that's about. It took me a while to discover. I wasn't really sure, because sometimes I play in solo, but I've also there's a private group that I'm in as well, and I wasn't sure whether everybody could see the carrier at the same time, but you can apparently. Whichever mode you play in, everybody can see it, which was a useful bit of information. So if you have got a carrier and you're doing something similar that I am, exploring, it is open to anybody that kind of discovers you, as it were, which is nice, because I know what it's like when you get out somewhere and you can't refuel, or indeed one of the reasons I've stuck it here, not too far from Colonia, is selling your data. You get battered by somebody coming into Colonia, you could lose your data. So I wanted to set up close to Colonia where fellow explorers could come in, sell their data and bio as well if they wanted to, and top up with fuel, do repairs, that kind of stuff, before the possible hassle of getting to a more busier type planet, you know. So that's the reason I'm stuck here. So I might go a bit further afield later, depends how things develop really. So coming into my Explorer's Respite, my carrier, but as I said last time, I think they should change the greeting slightly for us people that actually own carriers. That'd be nice.
Hello, Commander. Please stay aware of other ships around this carrier.
Yes, they always say that. Well, they don't. They do change it slightly, the wording, which is good. So I'm going to come in, get a bit closer, and do automatic. There you go, 7.5k.
Clearance granted. Move directly to your landing pad.
And then cut off your power. So you're gliding in, as it were, and your computer takes over. Different landing pad. They always do that. It's great. I think I've managed to actually land on every single pad here so far. That's a nice view of me carrier. I thought I'd do it nice bright yellow so you can see it from miles out. I'm not hiding anywhere. There's still a bug in the system, mate. I've got nobody in my bar at the moment, so I'm not totally sure if you can actually buy anything from a carrier at the moment as it stands, but we'll see. So coming in, going to dock, and then I tend to go into carrier services. As carrier service, you can sell your universal cartography. You can deposit tritium, please, if anybody's out there that wants to. But this isn't the one. I'll just make sure that we have. Oh, there you go. Ship's integrity. I'll just top up with that anytime. But it's on this screen that you need, and you want to go into your inventory. In this case, I've only got the 2 there. Now, as you can see, if you go there, go up 1 and transfer, and it literally, what I'm going to do is transfer both the osmium and the platinum. You need to confirm it, and there you are, you're done. Now, if I do go quickly into carrier services, I'll just show you the commodity bits and pieces. Carrier management, you can do it here, or you can do it from your other screen. If I go back to there, on the main screen, you've got carrier management there, you see. So you can do it in whichever way you want it to go into. You don't have to be on your carrier to do carrier management. Commodity training, come down to manage, and you've got all the things that you want. Now, liquid oxygen and water, they're the ones I'm trying to keep for colonisation. It's one of those things that I'm just doing as we go along. Not doing anything too desperate to that at the moment. But then I've got all these. I want to sell me gold. I just thought if anybody's out there that's got any of that, they could sell it to me and I'll sell it on. But I've had nobody that's actually decided to land and sell stuff. My osmium, if I go into there, and say sell, as you can see, I'm set it at 91% of the normal price, as it were, which seems to work. I'm not there to rip people off, and that's what I tend to set it, 91%. And the other things I've got for sale, and it should come out of that, and we're back at the station where I can change my ship. Now that's where I'm going to call it a day today. Now I'll try and stop the video before or after I've actually said bye, because last time I actually cut it off, which is I'm learning. It's a learning curve. I'm doing this purely for trying to get some information out to people, or like-minded people. So if you have any suggestions, positive ones please, I'll try and do things for you, anything you want to see. With that, I'll say thanks for popping in, and hopefully see you next time.